Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk to you about social injustice in El Salvador. But first, I would like to define what injustice is. According to the Larousse English Dictionary, injustice is the unfairness or lack of justice. Based on that definition, I will say that social injustice is the unfair distribution of resources, opportunities, and responsibilities. So it's oppression in any form. In order to understand what social injustice is, I would like to quote a very famous book from a very famous author that is known as Alberto Masferrer. In his book, The Minimum Vital, he talks about what social injustice is in our country. But first, what does minimum vital mean? Well, it means the constant and sure satisfaction of our basic needs. However, when Alberto Masferrer mentioned our basic needs, what is he referring to? What kind of needs is he talking about? Well, first, based on his book, he mentioned about fair and healthy work with a fair salary, access to medical and sanitary assistance, food that is nutritious and varied, also education, etc. So now that we know what are those basic needs that Alberto Masferrer referred in his book, now we can compare what do we have right now in El Salvador. It's not really hard to notice everywhere that social injustice is very big. Well, I would like to say also that here in our country there are two social classes. First, we have the dominant class that is formed by businessmen, powerful families, and rich people. And we also have the dominated class that is formed by farmers, workers, and the middle class. So, what is the difference between a dominant class and a dominated class? First of all, I can say that the dominant class was formed by rich people and powerful families. They are the ones who run the country. In other words, their fortune was made thanks to many exploited people, farmers, workers in maquilas, etc. For instance, these families are the owners of very big companies, and to give you a very good example is the Seaman family. Just hearing to this name, I'm sure that you can easily find who is the Seaman family. So almost in every mall in the country, you will find these stores. There are big stores where you can buy anything you want. With the only difference that is very expensive. Now, another thing that I would like to mention is that these powerful families or businessmen, they hire farmers and poor people to work from 12 to 14 hours a day and to pay them a very low salary that is even lower than the minimum salary that we have in our country. Now that we mentioned the minimum salary, I would like to say that it is also not a really fair salary. Why? Based on the Ministry of Labor, the minimum salary in El Salvador is $242.40. But also, based on an investigation made in the University of El Salvador, the minimum salary that every Salvadorian needs to survive in this country should be no less than $400 a month. As you can see, that is one of the biggest examples and clear examples of social injustice. I also want to give you the last example so you can understand how unfair things are in our country. In 2012, there was an article in the newspaper that it said that the congressmen raised up their salary from $4,000 a month to $4,854. So imagine this. A congressman only works 1 day per week. A farmer works like almost 7 days of the week. And the big difference between their salary is really big. Imagine $240 a month for a person to survive, probably with a family, and $4,000 a month of a person who almost doesn't work. So this is one of the things that I believe we should notice in our society in order to change all this injustice. In order to change our situation, we need to step up and do something about it. Since the rich people created the laws when we talk about minimum salary and hours of work, but we can change this. We just have to find our courage and we have to fight for our rights. So in the end, we can eliminate social injustice in our country, El Salvador. Thank you very much. This is Dago.